Okay.
Hi, Jared.
Okay, I'd like to call the Board of Elections meeting to order. If we can get someone to put a motion forward to approve the agenda
So moved.
and second it.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Is that everybody? Okay.
got a thumbs up from Heather.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, I think today's meeting is we are going to be focusing on getting the status of where everything is and
Do
how
we need
everything's
to approve
going.
minutes first?
Oh, yeah.
I read them. They look great.
Fantastic.
I did. I read all of them. All 4 pages. Thank you so much, Jessica, for doing that. They were good. I have them right here. So,
Kate, I will never again say anything about printing off the materials. I'm so thankful you did that.
yeah, me too. So anyway,
Okay.
I
Do
move
we
that we
need
approve the minutes.
Yes. Second? Can
Second.
somebody second? I think, yeah, okay, got a thumbs up from Heather.
All right,
All
good.
those in favor of the meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Got thumbs up and we're all set then.
Okay, good.
Cool.
All right. So I'll run through kind of a laundry list of the notable updates for the election, and then we can talk about the mail-in ballot excitement. The first round of yard signs have gone up and out. I did want to ask, Terry, is there a way to get approval to put some on the village green? Because I think that space is owned by the HOA in Riverdale Park Station.
Owned by the HOA.
It's not.
No, it is owned by the Commercial Association. So I can
Okay.
I can share the contact information for the property manager at Cushman Wakefield's. And it would be up to them to approve, but I can certainly share their contact information.
Okay, cool. That would be great. Everywhere else, I think we've done mostly just town property. Hopefully you've seen them up and about in town. This is the first wave and we'll see how they go, and then we'll add some more before the election day. So that was done. The special town election edition of the Constant Contact email went out this week. That has been completed.
So
The town crier is going to contain sample ballots. So that'll be, I think, the first time we've actually had the ballots printed in the crier. So we're working on how to do that best. It's a little tricky because there's not a lot of space, but we're working on it. We reached out to Riverdale Elementary School about parking on election day, and they were very responsive on that. A mailing will go out this week to everyone that's on the supplemental voter registry, just telling them about the election and making sure they have just a mail-in ballot application. So this is like a direct letter to everybody who has at some point voted or registered with the town on our supplemental voter registry. And along those same lines, staff are working on the voter activity cards for folks who are on the supplemental voter registry. So if you'll remember from previous years, the county only provides the voter activity cards for people who are registered at the state level. And so we create our own, but we create them to look almost identical to the ones that the county have. So we're working on that and kind of that should be done in the next few days, I would think. I did want to give 2 exciting updates that just happened before the meeting. We have another election judge who's interested, and I've looked up. They appear to be a registered voter in town, which is check. So that was great news. And then this one's special for Heather. We got our first submission for the sticker contest. So I thought you'd be so excited to hear that because I was. So there are people out there, they're reading and they're seeing all the great things that we're putting out. So that's really exciting. And those two things happened just right before the meeting.
Great.
So that was great. The other item on, I did want to mention, I've been on the line with Electech quite a bit this week. We got the envelope thing. I was thinking the same thing, Heather. I wasn't sure whether I was going to have to design a sticker or find another option, but thankfully we have at least one. The envelope situation was, I think Electech was a little more alarmed by it than I was a little bit surprised that they were so like concerned about it. And it does seem like a lot, but when you count the envelopes as like the envelopes that actually get everything there and the envelope that gets everything back, it's really not that bad. It's
Yeah.
not too many envelopes. So those are all printed and those should go out Friday, which is great. So we'll take a look. If everyone could look at the mail-in ballot list, which is what Kate had worked on earlier today, just double check. I'll send out the list of, I'll drop in the list of the county voters. And what we're looking for there is to make sure the ward numbers are correct and that they are registered voters. So I already did an initial scan. Their names that we're very familiar with because typically people request the ballots each time, which is great. So anyways, I'll send that out. And if you could take a look at that tonight and let me know if anything looks off. And then
Can you
Kate kind of threw
remind-
me for a loop today.
I did.
The email that she sent before the meeting. And so I wanted to, what Kate found was we had someone had submitted their absentee mail-in ballot and there was a second page to that with a second person. And so when they were, that came in, it was saved under the first person's name and there was actually two. So when Kate printed all of them out, she had one additional and it didn't match anywhere. It wasn't in any of our emails because it didn't come in from that person. It wasn't anywhere. So this is why we do print things out, I guess, and make sure that we don't have a second page on some of these electronic documents. So good catch, and we'll make sure that voter gets their mail-in ballot, and I'll update the Excel spreadsheet tonight when it comes back to you guys.
Can somebody remind me of when the mail-in deadline is?
I think it's the 25th.
Okay,
It's next Friday at
okay.
5.
Thank you. I didn't write it down anywhere. Next time we should put it on the absentee ballot application. If it's not, is it there? Yes, it is there. Never mind. I withdraw. Thank you. Sorry. Good golly. Okay.
It's just a lot of things happening
Mhm.
at this moment in time.
Right.
Let's take a look at the agenda real quick. I think that's it for the general updates on just election related items. We haven't gotten the second ballot box in yet, but I know that's been paid for. We do need to start thinking about the materials and the training for the new election judges.
Right.
So I think Kate and Sarah had come up with some like documentation for folks to have on hand if they have a question and maybe even to
Right.
review in advance. So we'll need to start putting those types of things together. But the other piece is that town hall was cleaned yesterday. So like it's wonderful. And so we could start compiling like all of the election related materials in one space and start getting ready for all of that. So that'll happen very soon as far as setting up the council chambers and getting a space for the election judges and a space for you to work basically. So we'll have all that together.
Okay.
Right, sorry. And then I think that was everything on general updates. The voter outreach, there's been a lot of action happening as far as dropping off flyers and interacting with the businesses. So that is all great. We did reach out to Crescent Cities to schedule voting for their residents. And so the response that came back was I don't do it anymore, reach out to this person within the organization. So I followed up with them again today. I haven't heard back, so it might take a little bit of, we may even have to go up there just to kind of get that, that voting scheduled.
Okay.
Though we did give an update on the I voted sticker contest. So we have one entry so far, which is exciting. And then there's the farmers market outreach that's still scheduled for May 1st. And I think Sarah said she will be there for that.
Great.
Do we have materials that
Alright.
we can hand out? Or
We've got
Mhm.
flyers.
we got flyers and stuff? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm
I'll
better
do,
if I have
Yep.
materials.
And then Heather has a follow-up question.
Yep.
Go ahead, Heather.
Sorry, trying to come off mute. Yeah, so I have done almost all, not quite all, but almost all of the outreach that I put my name on in the spreadsheet. If folks whose names are on the spreadsheet have not done that yet, that would be great to do ASAP while the weather is nice and when you have some time. I do have a question actually for Terry, because I was a little bit confused about the Riverdale Park Station HOA. I had put my name on the outreach spreadsheet for that and emailed the HOA, not knowing that you were on the HOA board or on the board. So wanted to see whether you want to take that on or whether you've already had a conversation with other board members. Or, like, should I leave that alone and you've got it, or what needs to happen there?
So I hadn't messed with your outreach spreadsheet at all because I came in a little bit late to the game and didn't put down my name for anything that was already claimed. But yes, I think I had shared with everyone a while back that I am the vice president of the HOA board of directors and have been on the board of directors for 7 years, 6 years, long time now. So yeah, we've reviewed your email over Slack, and it's on my list to reply. And if you can send me that, because obviously I have the flyer that was sent out in the TRP news and everything that's in the Dropbox. What I don't have is anything for the town, or what is it, the thing that's happening at the church for Meet the Candidates. I will say that our residents are going to want a lot more information about, like, when we say meet the candidates, which candidates are actually showing up. And without that information, I think the board of directors is a little bit hesitant to send out that piece because we will get questions. Our community is very, very curious. So if we don't know the answer to that question, we'll just be coming back and not be able to field that. So if we could get an answer to that and that flyer from you, Heather, then I think we're comfortable as a board sending out both. We'll send it in separate communications. But we'll be sending out both of those, no problem.
Okay. Let's chat offline about the candidate forum since I'm involved with that, not in my BOE capacity. But I'm happy to follow up with more information about that. And so if you have everything you need for election materials, that's great. Then I'll just put your name on that spreadsheet instead of mine. And then I'll just follow up on the forum stuff. Thanks.
is your board willing to have signs posted, the yard signs?
That would be up to the individual homeowners.
Or in public spaces?
We don't actually have any public spaces in the HOA. There is the HOA, the only public spaces that we own are adjacent to like their side yards, attached to homes. And while they are technically HOA owned property,
Yeah,
it would be a little bit dicey to put them up next to
yeah.
houses.
And the tot lot is off limits and the place where the dogs run around and all of that.
Yeah, we don't own any of that. I did though already, Jessica, well, I replied all, sent you the contact information for the two Cushman Wakefield folks.
Okay,
Who
Perfect.
are the property managers for all of the common spaces. And I'm happy to reach out to them, not in my like HOA Board of Directors capacity, but
Yeah.
as a Board of Elections member, since I have a relationship with them, and just copy you, Jessica.
That would be awesome, Terry. And I totally did not realize that the board didn't have the village green. So for whatever reason in my head, I had that the HOA had the village green. So thank
No.
you for clarifying and making that happen as far as reaching out to Cushman
Yeah.
Wakefield.
Yep, yeah, we
We
wish
don't
we
want to
did
put
have the
any
village
signs up.
green.
right.
Say that again.
We wish we did have the village green because it probably would look a lot nicer than it does if we did own it, but we don't.
And we followed the same guidance as far as the placement of the yard signs too. Like the town technically owns the tree boxes in front of nearly, all the houses. And so we did not, my instruction was no signs in front of people's homes. So we stuck with town-owned property, so the Boys and Girls Club, and we own the property next to the police department and in front of town hall. And so anywhere that there is a sign that we usually have our notices on, we have the yard signs there too, but we followed the same guidance there. Okay, so
Could I do
that-
a ballot? Could I do a flyer drop? Would that? I don't understand. I don't understand if this community is interested, why? I don't know. I'd be happy to go door to door in the townhouses and drop a flyer on everybody's doorstep unless you think that people would be offended by that.
Sorry, what was that directed at me?
Yeah, I mean, you're the one I know who lives there. So if that's an okay thing to do, then I'll get another 150 flyers, and I'm gonna do another ballot, another drop in my neighborhood, door to door, because I didn't get enough the last time. So I have enough now to go to all the houses. And I'd be happy. Would we be allowed to put them in the apartment building lobby? On a bulletin board? I don't know, because I haven't been there. I haven't been inside anything over there, so I don't know how the culture is.
I can't speak to the apartment because we're not involved with that property at all. And I can only speak in my like unofficial, not board of directors capacity, but
Yeah.
like I was gonna ask it didn't, I thought that the flyers were for businesses and not like flyers that we were putting on houses. So if they're flyers that we're putting on houses, I would be happy like on Saturday or something to do that in my community. There's 119 homes, so I just need 119 some odd flyers. Like I can easily do that.
Man, that'd be great.
Kate, are you just dropping them in people's mailboxes or are
No,
you
you never put anything in a mailbox. No, I'm leaving them on people's front porches or stoops, or if I know that there's a dog that I don't want to interact with, I roll it up and stick it in the fence. It just to, I've been known to put them on car windshields. It just depends, but yes, house to house is what I've done. And unfortunately, I don't have time or energy to do the whole town. I can do my little corner of it over here. And we don't have the wherewithal to do like a door tag. What are they called? Door hanger.
Yeah, the hang tags.
Yeah, those are great,
Yeah.
but we don't have the town staff to do that anymore. So,
Yeah, I could probably even recruit one or two of my neighbors to go walk in the community with me on Saturday. So Jessica, would you be able to put a bundle together for me to pick up at the police station?
yeah, I'm going to send an email right after this meeting, and staff will make some copies and get those ready.
Yeah, and I'll still obviously like get our management company for the HOA to send out the email announcement about the election too. So we'll hit electronically and I'll do the flyers.
And Terry, if you want to do a yard sign, no pressure, for your own personal property, the yard signs are available at the police department too. I have a bunch of those, so.
I got mine today.
Oh,
I,
great.
I would be happy to do that for our yard. When, when could I pick those up? Cause there's, we're doing an informal happy hour with the HOA on Friday. And I can ask, anyone there if they would be interested in yard signs. So maybe if we have a couple of spare yard signs, I could take 3 or 4, 5 and just try to pass those out too.
That would be awesome. There are a stack at the police department, so you can take as many as are remaining there. So I think there's probably at least 5. So that'll be great. I'll send you an email when the copies are ready to be picked up and everything's good to go. So I think we're doing really well with the outreach. It's more than we've done in the past. Of course, we always want to do more, and I think you know, we're seeing what works now, and that'll be something that may or may not translate to more voters coming out, but it does seem like there is at least an awareness of the town election happening, which I was concerned about. If you remember a few weeks ago, it just seemed like no one was talking about it, but all of this is good stuff. Is there anything that we are missing that we need to talk about or prepare for? The logistics are all just kind of happening behind the scenes now.
I think the next thing that I'm concerned about is the training materials for election judges.
Thank you. Nice segue. I found the stuff that I wrote last time,
Okay.
and I found notes that I scribbled all over it that night.
Yep.
So I will send a draft before that, maybe not a lot before, but before the next meeting.
Okay.
It'll take me a little while to rewrite and adjust and whatnot. I think that
you.
we should think about scheduling we should schedule like 3 hours before the polls open on early voting day and just get people to come to that one session. And then we can do that and break for lunch and then have voting. What do you think?
Voting starts at 2, so early voting
right.
is 2 to 6.
Right.
What time do you want training to start?
We could start, I don't know, 10:30, 11 o'clock, something like that, because we also need to set the room up, right? So in addition to, I mean, sometimes we set it up the night before, we could do that. But we'll have to set it up for that early voting anyhow, and maybe that'll be a good way to get the judges aware of how this space works.
So if we start at 11, we'll have between 11 and 2 to set the room up, train, and
Right.
eat some lunch.
Right. What do you think?
Jessica, does that sound logistically okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, and Jessica, you and I can work out the list of materials and supplies and stuff that we need, pretty much the same as last time.
Yeah.
And I think I have it written down somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure. I know you do.
And the big thing I think is making sure we have the copies for the supplemental voter registry, the same day voter registration, and the voter assistant pages, things like that. So just making sure that we have all of those documents. So I guess start thinking in that direction. When we meet next week, we'll be there will be several other updates, but we'll be finalizing different things. I do everyone needs to be sworn in who's serving as an election judge on April the 28th. That's when the mayor and council will meet again. It'll be about 7:45 via Zoom, and I will make sure we all have the oath of office and all of that good stuff. So I need to coordinate with our new election judges to make sure they're ready. And everybody has either done this before, with the exception of our new election judge. Everyone has either done this before with the town or is a trained county election judge. So I think that's a
Great.
huge
Great.
benefit to us overall.
Jessica,
okay,
do you
so-
have time and bandwidth to make like a mailing and phone list for the judge? We had one last time. that had
Yep.
mail, email, or email and phone, I think probably, if everybody's adept with that enough, that just so that we can get in touch with people easily.
If there's a problem.
Okay.
Does it make sense to try to do some signs that are like start here, step 1, step 2, step 3? For people who aren't for people who are new to voting, so they come in and they are at a loss as to where to go first.
We do that with signage, like simple signage for county general elections,
Mhm.
like step 1, like station 1, station 2, station 3.
I just don't know how the space is going to work,
Yeah.
Jessica. If people are coming in and they're going to be separated to their wards normally, then it doesn't lend itself to step 1, step 2, step 3. Except I guess we could have step 1 for all of the different wards, step 2 for the places where people mark their ballots,
Yeah.
and step 3 where they feed their ballots in, right?
So the room is set up differently
Yeah.
because there's now doors on one whole side, so we
Yeah.
lose that space.
Yeah.
So that's going to be what I was thinking initially, and I haven't seen the layout, is everyone
Yeah.
will come in through those double doors into the council chambers in that
Yeah.
one space. So just kind of, it'll almost be like a circle is what I was thinking. They go
Okay.
right to the first table, and then you'll have all the wards, and then have the booths at the far wall,
Yep.
and you do your ballot and go out
And
the
then
door.
yep.
Yeah, like a big circle.
Okay.
That's initially what I was thinking, but I'm a little concerned about the space, just in general. We'll figure it out. But I'll initially set up like a proposed layout, and then you guys can move it all around however you
Okay.
want. We'll have signs. I think you like the desktop signs for the wards, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can do that. But I do think that's another discussion we should have, maybe by next week.
Yep.
What other signs do you want to have?
And if you're concerned about the space and want somebody to walk through it, I certainly can come by and walk through it whatever, just let me know.
Yeah, that would be great. That's why I think it's important to get all the supplies together now and just start just seeing how this works out. So we don't have a huge number of voters that come, it's around 200, 250 throughout the day on election day usually. I'd love for that to be like a totally different experience, but that's what we're working with, is trying to circulate that number of people throughout the day. We do need our no electioneering beyond this point sign, and we'll probably need to address some of the issues we dealt with before with people coming into the polling place. So we can do that with signs. So be thinking of those things, I think, by next week, so we can get them printed in time.
A plain language sign that says, if you are running for office, do not enter this building except to vote.
Oh
There you
boy,
go.
that was fun. That was fun on election day. Okay. I
Yep.
think that's everything that I have now. Anyone have anything else we need to talk about?
I do not. I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
And again, I'll send the county voter list. I'll drop it into the meeting materials so you can
Great.
double check everybody
Just
on there.
double
And I'll
check.
update
Yeah.
them.
Do you
Yeah.
want to add that one missing voter, or do you want me to do it, or how do you want to handle that, Jessica?
No, I'll go ahead and add him to the
Okay.
list, and I've already separated out the PDF so that we have a separate application for him. That was such a good catch, Kate, like that. Thank you so much for doing that. That was a huge help.
Happy to do it. I knew I was putting off dealing with it, and then I knew that I had that hard deadline, so I did it. I need to work ahead if I can on the
And
next
so
stuff.
that's really the only change to the that we have right now to the mail-in ballot. So I don't see any reason why they won't go out by Friday. So people should have them by the weekend.
Okay. Jahara, I see you're going to be away. You're going to be flying during our next meeting. So I will try to get this to everybody more than ahead. Maybe if I really hit it all. I'll have it this weekend, by the end of the weekend.
And if there's anything that we need or that comes up specifically, we will definitely email you.
Okay.
You talk about never putting on, always wearing soft pants, but you do a lot of traveling for work. So I don't know about this soft pants all the time.
I'm wearing soft pants today. On
Hey,
work,
it's a good
on work
soft pants
travel, on work
Oh,
travel, so
Okay,
it's happening.
all right.
day.
This is not normal. I'm normally not gone this much, but April's been kind of crazy.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
All right.
Thank you all for joining. I know it's been a lot each week, but it definitely has helped keep us all on track, I think.
We can,
I feel a
So
lot less harried than any previous year. It feels a lot
Good.
more slow and steady workflow.
Good.
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
good.
Also for next week, and I don't think this will be a problem because the last 2 weeks we've been like well under an hour, but I have a hard stop at 7:45 because I have to get on and present on a webinar and be all like
Businessy.
yay, stuff that we're launching.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
we will aim to not go until like a half an hour is what we're looking at for these
We'll
next
talk
couple meetings.
fast. Talk fast and throw
Okay.
strikes.
Okay.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Wait. Yeah. Yep.
Moved. So moved. Kate moves. Yes.
Second.
And
Wonderful.
we all vote to adjourn the meeting.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody.
Excellent.
Bye.
See you next week, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, y'all.
Everyone, take care.
Thank you, Jessica.
Was there something Sarah needed? Oh, it was on the part of the stop sign thing. All right.
All right. I'm out of here.
Take care.
See
See ya.